Hi guys, today we're going to talk about the mean, mode, median, and range, and we're going to use a visual approach to this. And this video is an optional video just so you can jog your memory about how to find mean, median, mode, and range of a given set of data. So let's start by imagining that there are 5 children of these following ages, 3, 4, 8, 6, and 4. And each child can be represented as a tower for their age. So 3, 4, 8, 6, and 4. All right, so let's analyze this data by finding the range of the ages. Well, to do that, I need to find the difference between the oldest child and the youngest child. So the oldest child is 8, youngest is 3. I want to find the difference. 8 minus 3 is 5. 5 is the range. To find the median, I'm going to first have to put these children in order from youngest to oldest, because the median is the middle age, not of the group of how they're standing, but according to by their values of their ages. So let's put them in order from youngest to oldest and find the child in the middle. So the median age is 4, because 4, this is our middle child. The median divides the set of data in half, and that's important to note, that the median divides the data in half. We're going to use that later on. You should end up getting 2 equal groups, 2 on each side. A good way to remember the median is think of the strip of highway that divides the road. There's usually grass or sometimes flowers, like in this picture. But it divides the road in half, just like the median divides the data in half. Okay. Now let's talk about the mean. The mean is also most commonly referred to as the average, although mean, median, and mode are all averages. The mean means equal distribution, or that everyone's going to have the same amount. So we've got these blocks here. Let's make equal size towers. Okay, so we're going to make 5 towers of equal height. There you go. Once I've got 5 towers of equal height, I can now say that the mean is 5, because each tower is 5 squares high. So the mean age is 5. Okay. The mode is just the data value that appears most often. So in this data, we look at the children's ages, and there are 2 children who are 4 years old. Therefore, 4 is the mode. So let's look at a different set of data. Now we have 4 children. We're going to, again, make towers to represent each of their ages. And analyze this data by, first, let's find the range. Again, oldest and youngest child. Oldest child is 9, youngest is 3. Let's subtract. 6 years is the range. So 9 minus 3, I'm sorry, 9 years is the oldest child. 9 minus 3, 6 years. Let's find the median. First, we need to put them in order from least to greatest. And find the center. Now you might notice, because median is the middle number and it splits the data in half, but in this case there isn't a middle number because there's an even number of data items. So what we need to do then is look at the 2 in the middle. Okay? And add those up and divide by 2. So we have a 5 and a 6-year-old that represent the middle. So 5 plus 6 is 11. And 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. So there you go. That's the median, 5.5 years old. If you wanted to find the mean, again, we want to make towers that are of equal height, and 4 of them, because we have 4 data items. And you might notice that, ooh, we can't do that with this data. So, since we can't do that, what we need to do then is take these extras here and divide them among the 4 towers equally, which means we might have to cut them up. So 3 divided by 4 is 3/4. So each group gets 3/4, and our mean is 5 3/4. Okay, we'll talk about a little more how we would do that without the blocks in a second here. More often than not, the mean is a mixed number, and it's not a whole number. So you're going to see this quite a bit. Let's find the mode. In this case, remember, the mode is the number that appears most often. In this case, there isn't one, because there is no number that appears most often. And that's okay. You can have no mode sometimes. Sometimes you might have 2 modes. Let's look at this data set. Again, make towers to represent each child. Find the range by taking the oldest and youngest, subtracting. We have oldest is 8, youngest is 2. We subtract them, we get 6 years, because 8 minus 2 is 6. There's your range. Median, put them in order from youngest to oldest. Find the center. In this case, there is no center number, so we need to add 2 and 8 to get 10. Divide that by 2. We get 5 as our median. Okay? Let's find the mean. We need to make 4 equal towers. So we'll take that. And in this case, we were able to make equal towers. We were able to take all of our blocks together, because what we're really doing is putting all of our blocks together, right? And then dividing it into 4, because that's how many data items we had. So when we do that, we get 5 as our mean, because we can get 4 towers of 5. But if we thought about that, we really had 2 2-year-old children and 2 8-year-old children. And when I added those all up, if I took all of those and combined them together, that would give you a total of 20. And then I would take that 20 and divide it by 4, because that's how many children there were. And that's how I also, another way to get 5 without the blocks. Now let's look for the mode. And in this case, you might notice there are 2 numbers that repeat the most often. So therefore, we have 2 modes, 2 and 8. We could have 3 modes. We could have 4 modes. Whatever number would repeat most often. The only time we would have no mode is if we don't have any numbers that repeat. So let's summarize. The range is the difference between the greatest and smallest value. The median is the middle number in the set. So first you need to put the numbers in order. Very, very important that we put the numbers in order before selecting the middle number. If there are 2 numbers in the middle, then we would have to find the average of those 2 numbers, which means we would add them up and then divide by 2. The mean is the average. So to find the mean, we would take the sum of all the numbers we have in our data set and divide by that number of numbers. The mean means that everybody gets the same amount. The mean is not always a whole number. The mode is the number that appears most often. It is possible to have more than one mode. It's also possible to have no modes. So let's do some practice. Since this is an optional video, we're not going to go through it. We're not going to have a portion that you will do without seeing the answer to. So I'm going to give you a problem. You pause the video, give it a shot, then check your work. So, pause the video, do number 1, then press play, and you'll see the answer. In this case, the answer is false, because if the range in shoe sizes for a 6th grade class is 9, then the mean, that means that everyone has large feet. That's not true. That means that space between the smallest shoe size and the largest shoe size is 9. Someone has large feet, but not everyone. Pause the video and try this one. This one is true, Because remember, the median divides the data into two equal groups. So therefore, there are students that have greater shoe sizes greater than 6, and there are students who have shoe sizes less than 6. Pause the video and try this one. The answer here is 7. Now, notice, you didn't have all 20 data items. But if I know what that all sums to, which is 140, and I know there were 20, all I would need to do is take that 140 and divide it by 20. So it actually, with this problem, you were, one of the steps was eliminated for you. Pause the video and try this problem. We discussed in class how this one can be tricky because the mode is not going to be the number that appears most often here. In this case, it's going to be the largest number because the number of students who said they had 2 pets was 7, so more students said they had 2 pets than any other number of pets. Pause the video and try this one. So when I add up all these calories, I would get 2,540. There were 5 items, so therefore I divide 2,540 by 5 and get an average of 508 calories. Pause the video and try this one. Well, to do this one, you have to first put the numbers in order from least to greatest, then pick the middle number, and in this case there was a middle number, so 510 is our median. Pause the video and try this one. Well, to find the range, you take the greatest and lowest data item in value and subtract them. 700 is the highest, minus 280, you get 420 is our range. And this one's not going to have a unit with it because a range isn't, well, I guess you could have said calories, but you don't have to. All right, pause the video and try this one. Since 510 calories appears the most often, that is the mode. We're done with this video. You can go back and watch any portion of this video as many times as you want to. There is no need to WSQ, although it's a good idea in taking notes for yourself. And if you do have questions, please come see me. Since this wasn't an assigned video, do stop and see me if you do have a question or on any of the problems that we went through or on the topic in general. And have a great day.